Hello, beautiful strangers, and welcome to Cat Reacts. I'm Cat, and I react to mostly 80s and 90s films. If that is something that interests you, then why don't you subscribe? Today, I will be reacting to a film called 12 Angry Men. It stars Jack Lemmon, Ossie Davis, Tony Danza, and so many others. 12 Angry Men, so I am guessing it's all men, and they're angry for some reason. But I have no idea. I don't know if it's gonna be like Grumpy Old Men, stars Jack Lemmon. I have no idea. But I am excited to check it out. If you want to join me on the journey of discovering what this film is all about, then great, hop on and let's go.
Listen to the testimony. It now becomes your duty to try to separate the facts from the fancy. One man is dead. The life of another is at stake. In the event that you do find the accused guilty, bear in mind that he could face the death penalty.
Okay, so we're talking serious crimes here. What did he do? Or didn't do? Maybe I am asking too many questions too early. This will probably be explained. I need to know.
It's better be fast. Got 2 tickets to the ball game tonight, huh? Yankees, Cleveland.
Dude, you're deciding the fate of a potential murderer who could be innocent. We don't know yet. Take this seriously. I am.
All those voting guilty, raise your hand. 11. All those voting not guilty.
Oh my Jack.
This man is a dangerous killer, you can see it.
But man, he's 18 years old.
He's old enough. He knifed his own father 4 inches into the chest.
11 men here agree.
We're talking about a person's life here. We can't just decide in 5 minutes. I just think we owe that boy a few words, that's all.
You're not gonna sit there and tell us we're supposed to believe this kid.
It seems to me that it's up to us to convince this gentleman that we're right and he's wrong.
Are you sure?
The man is guilty. That was a witness.
That witness could be lying.
He claimed he was at the movies during the time of the killing, and yet, 1 hour later, he couldn't remember what films he saw, who played in them. And what about the woman across the street? His window's right opposite hers, right across the L tracks, and she swore she saw him do it.
Through the windows of a passing elevated train. You don't believe the boy. Why do you believe the woman?
Didn't they say that the father and the kid had an argument, and the kid ran out sometime around 7 o'clock?
Then they heard the father hit the son twice. This boy has been hit so many times that violence is a normal part of his life.
Everyone is a breaking point.
Kid's 0 for 5, huh? I mean, look at his record. He's been picked up twice for trying to slash another teen with a knife. He's real good with that switchblade, you know.
This kid sounds like he has had a seriously rough life.
Ever since he was 5 years old, his father beat him up and he used his fists.
You got any kids?
2.
I got 1. When he was 9, he ran away from a fight. And I said to him right straight out, I said, I'm going to make a man out of you, or I'm going to bust you in half trying. I made a man out of him, all right.
Wow, aren't you proud of yourself?
Haven't seen him in 14 years.
I'm not surprised.
We are here to decide whether he is guilty or innocent of murder. He was born in a slum. The kids that crawl out of these places are nothing but trash.
I lived in a slum all my life.
But those 2 witnesses were the entire case for the prosecution. Could they be wrong?
They could be wrong, they could be lying, they could have agenda.
They took the stand under oath.
People lie under oath.
Let's take the knife they found in the father's chest.
Let's talk about it. As a matter of fact, let's look at it again. I'd like to see it.
The storekeeper who sold it to him identified the knife in court and said it was the only one of its kind he had ever had in stock.
Wow, that's a cool knife, though.
I've never seen one like it. Neither has the storekeeper who sold it to the boy.
What are you trying to do? Who do you think?
Ooh.
Where did you get that knife?
That knife comes from a pawn shop 3 blocks from his house. It cost $25. Do you think he lied?
You damn right he lied.
Yeah. And you, sir?
He lied, yes.
Yeah. And you?
Oh, he's not convinced. He's seen the slum himself.
I think maybe.
Baby, wait a second. Who are you to come in here and start cross-examining us?
Isn't this what's supposed to happen in a jury room?
Somebody saw that boy stab his father. What more do we need?
I want you 11 men to vote by secret written ballot. If all 11 of you vote guilty, I'm not going to hold out. But if anyone votes not guilty, then we stay and talk.
That's fair.
Guilty. Guilty. Not guilty.
Oh, yeah, there is one more.
You change your vote. That is the most sickening.
You can't talk to me like
We're trying to put a guilty man where he belongs, and somebody's telling us fairy tales, and we're listening.
The only only thing he's asking is that you consider all aspects of the case.
What'd you switch your vote for?
He didn't.
I did.
See? Don't jump to conclusions.
This gentleman has been standing alone against us. He doesn't say the boy is not guilty. He just isn't sure. He gambled for support, and I gave it to him.
I didn't mean to get nasty or anything.
The boy had a motive for the killing, the beatings and all. If he didn't do it, who did it?
The father was hardly a model citizen. We know that he served a prison term, and he frequented all of the local bars. Usually after a couple of drinks, he'd get into a fight over a woman. Hell, he could have been murdered by any one of the prison inmates, or somebody he beat up, or a woman he picked up.
We know that the father was a bum. What's it got to do with anything?
That has plenty to do with things. Like he just said, he could have been murdered by any one of these people.
The old man downstairs heard the kid yell out, "I'm gonna kill you." A split second later, body hit the floor, and then he saw the kid running out of the house. Now, what does all that mean to you?
He picked the boy's voice out of 5 of the voices blindfolded.
But to identify the voice positively from another apartment, isn't it possible that he was wrong?
How do you like this guy, huh? It's like talking into a dead phone.
You just sit down. Talking to you is like talking to a rat that just crawled out of the sewer. Ugh.
As I was trying to say, I wonder if anybody here has an idea of how long it would take an L train to pass a given point going at a medium speed.
10 seconds, approximately.
Let's say that given point is the open window of the room where the murder took place. When that window is open and the train is roaring by, the noise is unbearable. You can't hear yourself think. She swears that she saw the stabbing through the windows of the last 2 cars of an elevated train. If the woman witnessed the stabbing through the last 2 cars, then we must assume that the body fell just as the train was passing by. The old man now, according to his own testimony, hearing the boy say, "I'm going to kill you," and the body falling, must have heard that statement while the yell was roaring by right under his nose. It's not possible that he could have heard it.
You're talking about a matter of seconds here. Nobody can be that accurate.
Well, I'll tell you, I think the testimony that can send a human being to death should be that accurate.
Yes. Very, very much so. I agree.
I don't think he could have heard it.
Yeah, maybe he didn't hear it with all that L noise.
Can you just make up some stuff like that?
Why do you think he's making it up? It's an assumption.
How many times have we all probably used that expression? Hundreds of times. "I'm going to kill you if you do that one more time." Or, "Kill him, Rocky, kill him."
He's a common ignorant slob. He don't even speak good English.
I don't like this man.
I'd like to change my vote to not guilty.
What are you basing it on? The stories this guy made up?
He's not making anything up. He hasn't made any stories up. He made simple math, which checks out, I might add.
There are facts staring you right in the face, and every one of them says this kid killed his old man.
I've noticed that the 3 men who are the most angry are the only 3 that are convinced that he's guilty.
We assume that the boy committed murder, that he stabbed his father in the chest and then he ran away. He came back at about 3 o'clock or so. If he really did kill his father, why did he come back 3 hours later? Would he not be afraid of being caught by the police?
That's a good point.
Boy knew that there were people who could identify the knife as the one he had just bought here to get it before the police did.
But if he knew that the knife could be identified, why did he leave it in the first place?
I personally think there is enough doubt for us to wonder if the boy was there at all.
Didn't the old man see the boy running out of the house? Witnesses are being doubted, and there's no reason for it.
Witnesses can make mistakes. All those in favor of not guilty, raise your hand. Still the same. 3 not guilty, 9 guilty.
I would like to change my vote.
We're all going crazy in here. This kid is guilty. Why don't you pay attention to the facts?
The facts are presented by people who might or might not have an agenda, love.
The kid you just decided is not guilty was seen ramming that thing into his father.
That's not the knife. Don't you remember?
Ooh, you have more anger than logic. You're out for blood and that's all you see.
Did the old man say he ran to the door?
Ran, walk, what's the difference?
Dude, huge difference, huge. You're dealing with a person's life. You're dealing with a murder case.
Mr. Foreman, I'd like to see a diagram of the apartment again, please. I just want to find out if a man who limps because he had a stroke a year ago can get from his bed to his front door in 15 seconds.
Why all of a sudden questioning him now?
Now, the old man was in bed in this room, down to the front door. That means that he had to get up, get out of bed, walk 12 feet, open the bedroom door, walk 43 feet, and open the front door to his apartment. 40, 41, 42, 43. Well, you just stamp your foot when you want me to go. That'll be the body falling, all right? Time me from then.
No, that's too slow.
That's the way he...
You want me to walk faster? All right, I'll walk faster.
Exactly 42 seconds.
He heard someone running down the stairs and he assumed that it was the boy.
I think that's possible.
Yeah, see?
Every one of you knows he's guilty. He's got to burn.
Jesus, you are too angry for this.
God, I'm sorry for you.
Shut up.
You want the boy to die for your own personal reasons. You don't really mean you'll kill me, do you?
Wow.
The facts are supposed to determine the case.
Sick and tired of facts.
Sick and tired of facts?
Facts, facts.
What is wrong with you?
Well, they're not gonna switch. Let's just go to the judge, or we'll be here all night. Let's just go tell her that we're hung. To hell with this.
Why don't you just vote not guilty?
No, I voted guilty because I think he's guilty. Listen, I'm ready to go into court right now and declare a hung jury.
We're not going in as a hung jury.
An important point the prosecution raised was the fact that the boy, having said that he was at the movies, could not remember the names of the films or the stars that were in them.
It was the only alibi the boy offered.
Could I ask you a personal question?
Please, go ahead, go ahead.
Where were you last night?
I was home.
And Monday night?
My wife and I went to the movies.
Ah. Yeah. What did you see?
Lies and Secrets.
That's called Secrets and Lies.
And who was in Secrets and Lies?
It was something with B-E.
Brenda.
I'm very sorry.
And you weren't under great emotional stress at the time, were you?
No, sir.
I think the point is made.
What, because he couldn't remember the name of a couple of two-bit movie stars?
If it's perfectly logical for this gentleman to forget a few details, it's perfectly logical for the boy.
That whole business had dragged out forever with the psychiatrist. The psychiatrist definitely stated the boy had strong homicidal tendency. Let's not forget we're talking about a boy here who's always had murder on his mind.
We must remember that many of us are capable of committing murder, but few of us do. To say that the man is capable of murder does not mean that he has committed murder.
Look, if they said this kid was capable of killing, he could have killed, couldn't he?
Could I see that knife for a second? There was this whole business about the stab wound. I can't go along with it. The boy was, 5 feet, 7 inches tall. The father was 6 feet 2.
I'm about 6 or 7 inches shorter than you, right?
Yeah, maybe even a little more.
Hey! That ain't funny! And that's the way it was done. Tell me I'm wrong.
This is a stiletto, it's not a switchblade.
You have to hold it like this to release the blade. In order to stab downward, you'd have to change your grip.
Well, how do you use it?
Underhanded. Like this.
You think he could have made the kind of wound that killed his father?
Not with the experience he'd had using these things. No, I don't think he would.
How about you?
There's no way you've been able to crack Mr. Baseball here.
I'm changing my vote to not guilty.
Wow, they broke Mr. Baseball.
I've had enough.
You've had enough. That's no answer.
What kind of a man are you? Now, if you want to vote not guilty, then do it because you are convinced that the man is not guilty, not because you've had enough.
The vote is 9-3 in favor of not guilty.
How can you believe his story?
Well, how can you be so quick to judge?
These people are born to lie. Now, that's the way they are, and no intelligent man's going to tell me otherwise. Human life don't mean as much to them as it does to us.
You don't have anything to say that will contribute to this case.
There's not one that's any good. Not one! And they're wild animals. They want to destroy us.
Wow. The generalization is just strong with that one.
I say that we get him before his kind gets us.
It's just not easy to arrange the evidence in order.
You can throw out all the other evidence. The woman saw him do it.
You don't throw out any evidence.
Let's go over it again.
Come on. Let's get out from under this thing, huh?
Your eyeglasses make those deep impressions on the side of your nose.
Yes.
The woman who testified that she saw the killing had those same deep marks on the side of her nose.
I saw them too, he's right.
Do you wear your glasses when you go to bed?
No one wears eyeglasses to bed, no one.
Then it's logical to say that she wasn't wearing hers in bed either. I say she only saw a blur. The woman's eyesight is in question now.
He is making a good point.
She had to identify a person 60 feet away in the dark without glasses.
You can't send someone off to die on evidence like that.
Number 12, is it possible?
Yes,
He wears glasses, he should know.
it's possible. The kid's not guilty.
Number 10, do you think he's guilty?
Yes, I think he's guilty. But I couldn't care less. You smart bastards. You do whatever you want.
How do you vote?
I vote not guilty.
Wow, okay, I'll take that, even though it's not based on anything factual, but I'll take it.
I think he's guilty.
Does anyone else think he's guilty?
No, I'm convinced.
What's the matter with you?
It's 11-1.
The tables have turned.
You're alone. I say he's guilty.
We want to hear your arguments.
I gave you my arguments.
No, they've disproven all your arguments. You have to come up with better ones.
The woman testified! That's the whole case! The phrase was, I am going to kill you. And he said it to his own father.
Something tells me he has heard that before himself.
It was his father! Why am I the only one who sees?
You're the only one with closed eyes, love.
I can feel the knife going in.
He's not your boy. He's somebody else.
Let him live.
All right. Not guilty.
Jack, I love you. Well, I did love you before, but I love you even more now.
We've reached a verdict.
My name is McCardle. What's yours?
Davis.
So long.
Alright, let's talk about it. Okay, that was me watching 12 Angry Men. It was a masterpiece. In every sense of the word, it's a masterpiece. I would give it 10 out of 5. I honestly think this is one of the best films I've ever seen. Simple. The whole film takes place in one courtroom. Like, in one room. It sparks debate. It makes you think. It makes you question. It makes you want to know more. It makes you want to seek the truth, seek evidence, and seek something that will counter that argument that you just made. It makes you want to actually be more enlightened. Like, when they got into this room, 11 of them were like, yeah, he's guilty. They would have sentenced him to death if it wasn't for the Jack Lemmon character. One by one, they slowly started to realize that it's not always that simple. This film had me gripped. I wanted to debate them so hard. 10 out of 5, easy. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I'll put out new videos 5 days a week. I'll see you in the next video.